What's going on, RuneScape.com? It's your boy, John McGarrett's back with another tier list. In today's tier list, we're going to be flipping tier list from the perspective of 100 mil. Okay, so if your bank's around 100 mil, that's what this tier list is going to be. I know you guys, we haven't been seeing me very much because of I am slowly working on my new strategy, considering, you know, I got a bunch of feedback and stuff like that, and I'm working on the course. But I just wanted to throw you guys this to have in the meantime. So, again, flipping tier list, 100 mil. That's the perspective here from my point of view, like what I think you guys should do. So essentially, let's just kind of break down the gist here. We have this represents volume. So this right here. So 1 mil volume, I will say, is like B tier. Then 10 mil plus is going to be your A tier. And then it'll scale up. The higher you go, the better it is. Less than 1 mil depends. This depends. A lot of it is booty. I'm gonna put it in C. I'm not gonna put a complete booty D tier, but I'm gonna put it in C tier just because this represents volume, mind you. Okay. I think just for 100 mil, 10 mil, 1 bill, etc. I just think the higher volume stuff is just gonna be better for you, just to get as much consistent profits as possible. Okay, because like the lower you get in volume, the higher your profit margin can potentially be, but it severely increases your risk. And if you're watching me make a tier list about what items to flip, I'm assuming you're probably not as good as me, or maybe you just enjoy this type of stuff. But I just don't want to like mislead people into flipping and say like, you know, flipping barrow sets is going to get you more money, or that's the way to do it. What it can, but it is also like the higher the GP is and the lower the volume tends to carry more risk. So this is why I think this is better, because like in the long run, consistency is going to get you more money. So like the less effort you put in is going to increase your consistency, and high volume does give you that too. So that kind of narrows down like the list. This kind of like puts the lens on all these items, even though I put all these items in so I can tell you guys about some picks that are good, and just kind of talk about why stuff's bad. So then third age, for 100 mil, you're not going to have any of this into your window. I think the cheapest third age item is probably like most of your bank, so it's just complete booty. I would put like items that are around 10k that are high volume, just in essence kind of in the booty stack, because a lot of items that are higher volume, a lot of items I've just tried out that are like 10k and above with some nuances, they're just kind of booty. The tax usually eats up the margin. So yeah, so then we got the 100 here, and I would put all items 100 and lower into the A tier. Items in the thousands, kind of. I don't like items over 1,000, just because like the more you add tax in, the more you got to think about it, so then it becomes like a lot more annoying. You know what I mean? And unless you truly enjoy flipping, the more annoying flipping is, the less good you're going to be at it. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to like it as much. So then I will put 1 mil up here as a, well, I want to put 1 mil up there as an A tier, but I think it's, so let's just slide down 1,000 into C just because the margins are super thin. And then I'll put 1 mil right with B tier, because like, is that less than 1 mil or greater than 1 mil? Oh, I think I messed up that symbol there. My bad. So this, I think I messed that up. This is supposed to be less than 1 mil volume, but I'm going to put 1 mil into B tier just because there's a lot of items with low volume that don't trade well, but a lot of those items with low volume that do trade well are over 1 mil. So that's why I'm going to put this here. Okay. So seeds and stuff, in my experience, have just been booty. Adamant bolts for me has been like super high tier, like really the echelon of S tier. Adamant bolts tips, they've done pretty well, but they're just like significantly more expensive than the bolts, so then the margin's kind of weird. Adamant items, I will just put right into the B tier. I will say like random adamant items, probably not what you want to be looking for. I'll just put this in the high C tier just to say, because there's what, like adamant plate bodies, really good for flipping, but it's still C tier because it's not closed cycle. which there's two types of, well, I use these terms often. They're called closed cycle and open cycle. Closed cycle means like you're trading all closed on GE, and you're using the GE to facilitate all your trades. And then open cycle would be pulling, like buying items off of the GE to go arbitrage somewhere else, where you're like going to like all bulks and stuff like that and selling to them, or selling to high elkers, or selling to whoever. You know what I mean? That would be open cycle. And adamant plate bodies do really well on the open market. So there's a lot of arbitrage to be made there. So that is good to flip that one particular situation. But so like adamant plate body by itself would probably be like a high B, I would say, just because like it's not mid B, because it's not noob friendly. It is kind of noob friendly, but you have to go advertise your own shit. So you have to like market your stuff like on whatever, and then deal with being haggled and all that other bullshit that comes with it. So now bars and stuff, I don't like them. Like you can buy and hold them, but like I want you guys to overnight flip, passive trade and stuff like that. Buy and holding requires a lot more speculation. So if you have to speculate more, this is just my experience. Unless somebody feel free to correct me down in the comments about items that you've tried and explain it so that people can get the actual value out of it. I'm just trying to talk from my experiences specifically and my types of strategy. Bars, they don't have tangible what is it called? Tangible margins that you can see. So let me just go to like this tool called 07.gg. Feel free to check it out in the link down below. There's a nice pro here. This is the new and up and coming GE tracker. I think it's better. It's a lot more sleek, stuff like that. They just got the transactions fixed, so now we're like seeing how much money we're making. This doesn't have my 760 accounts on it yet, by the way. I'm going to import those, and we're going to start using this to track that stuff. But okay, but I just want to go to bars here and just talk about it. No results on bars, huh? I may have a filter issue here. Oh, it's because I put an S, plural. So yeah. So this does have a 17 GP margin right now. So that's not that bad. But like, look at this. Mithril bar, steel bar, gold bar. You have to enter at 700 GP, and you only make 2 GP profit on it. Like 17 profit on an item that's 1,000. So maybe that deserves its own spot. So adamant bar, I guess, is a little bit better than I was giving it credit for. I was just talking about bars in general. Like for instance here, look at this runite bar. Sometimes the margin is just non-existent. If you looked at here, you know what I mean? Like where we got like a 1256 to 1271, so that margin is completely eaten up. You could like probably buy at 12101, and what's the tax on that then? 12101 times 0.01. It's just 10% twice. So 121. So 1,210, 10% again, 121. So there's your margin there. But like even if you buy at the low price here, the high price and the low price is only 90 coins, so it's still not even like the tax is too big. Okay, so you see what I'm saying there? You see this is like a massive low here, and this is on 12 hours. So yeah, let's go to 1 hour or 1 day. But we got 12.26 here, and the high price over here is 12.199. So there you go, potentially 70 GP profit, but like that's still way too speculative in my opinion. It goes up and down. So this is kind of like one of those things you'd buy and hold. So like if you bought it at the beginning of the week at 12,000, sorry, and then you caught it here at the end and you got it for 12.2, you can cut some profit there. But that's still like really speculative for not a lot of speculative, meaning like you're guessing, you're gambling, okay, and you're not seeing a lot of profit there. So that adamant bars, high C, we'll just put it high C just because that like we just checked that chart and that was decent. So adamant bars, but this speaking for bars in general, not very good. Now ores, same thing. We're gonna just run that back and then just check out the ores again. And like as you can see here, 0, 3, 2. I mean that's okay, but the adamant ore here, and then we can look at runite ore. So we have a tax of 9 on this. So like most of the day this is getting eaten up, but you can buy it at 9 and sell it for 9.30. So then you got a 21 GP margin there, but yeah, so not that bad. Again, same thing. Adamant seems to be doing pretty good, but the rest of them don't look that good. You know what I mean? So we got like 1,100 here. So yeah, 1,108 is the tax on this item. So like most of the time, this is like not the margin. 108 plus 785 is 890. So yeah, right. Yeah. So the tax is eaten up here, and it just doesn't work. But yeah, adamant ore, pretty good. Okay, so those are pretty good. But speaking for ores in general, not that good, in my opinion. This is new. I don't remember what that was called, but the new items for a new person, like they're flipping okay. I've seen people, if you come to my Discord, come down to the Discord, talk to the other people who are flipping the new Yama shit. They're all on top of that shit. You guys come on down. People are making some hella profit there, talking about it. They're making some fucking huge bank with Yama, but like I steer clear from updates because I'm just looking for nice consistency. Okay. So then like we'll slide in the Barrow sets. This is kind of supposed to represent all items over 1 mil. I think I may have some other Barrows items in here that say the same thing. It's just kind of every time you see like an item, it's going to rank like it's going to be a little bit better for items that are 2 mil or whatever mil. And these Barrows items and stuff like that, there is also on the 07.gg here, we got a recipe scanner. So you can look like, I think, what is it? Barrows? No, let's say like bronze though. Like you could like create sets. So we could like Guthan's armor set here. You can make like 68k profit just by buying all of the pieces separately and then combining them and making a profit. So like 07.gg has that as well. But I'm saying like, so that has that type of niche, like combining sets and stuff like that. But just like items in particular, like single items or set items and stuff like that, you'll be able to get like decent swings in them. So this is Air Battle Staff. I will put this high in the A tier because I flipped this myself. It's kind of like a 1 to 4 million daily volume, if I remember correctly. But it's like I was getting some hella consistent profit. So this is kind of like it's a craft item. People make this crafting to make a little bit of money, because when you put an air orb and a battle staff together, you make a little bit of money, and you're selling it to people who are going to elk. But the thing is like because it's an elk and it's so stable that like you can get a consistent margin on it. Like this is one of those items that like I bought like daily from my previous series, which I kind of abandoned, but my flipping stuff where I was just showing flipping trades where we're looking for picks and just seeing how they perform live in the market. Battle staff, air battle staffs, all the battle staffs. Air battle staffs is the best performing one. I was able to get like an 80 to 100 margin on it sometimes, and like it is an awesome item to enter. It has a huge volume for the price it's at, and like that large margin is awesome. But I like, this is one of those nuances with like the 10,000, like down here, maybe like most of the shit that are around 10,000 I flipped before has been kind of straight booty, but battle staffs are not that, like they are exempt from that rule because of what I just said, because it's an alchable. So it's got that nice, whatever, for whatever reason, it's alchable, high volume, all that good stuff. It's crafting. There's a huge swath of volume always surrounding it. But what I was trying to say, okay, yeah. So like the thing about alchables, so like adamant plate bodies, battle staffs, we'll get to other items in the list, is these are awesome because they are essentially the same thing as like buying an air rune. And what I mean by that is that like when you buy an air rune, and I don't know if I'll put this S tier right now, but I love it. I love it. No. Not for one account. Okay. So for the perspective, let's add an extra nuance here. If you had 700 accounts, this is one of the best items in the game. But not a lot of you guys have 700 accounts. If you have one account with 100 mil, it's probably like high B. You know, you'll make money, but there's better picks. Okay. So we'll be real. But the air battle staff is the same thing, but what makes it better than the air rune is that like you're making more money per flip or whatever. But the thing is like you have less competition because A, it's a members item, so there's less members accounts. B, the members botters that are flipping are probably not flipping an item like air battle staff because like whatever. Because I don't know how those accounts would even operate. I think like members accounts are probably farming. I don't know about that, but let's just assume. I just feel like there's not a lot of members bots flippers, so you're not competing with them. And then C, a lot of people who are flipping items, your competition goes down the more expensive an item is. And now that you're in the 100 milli, you could trade this item, a little bit of it, and have to deal with a lot less competition than a lot of these other items. Like for instance, let me go in here. Let's say Mithril Dart. This is still an S tier. I will put this as an S tier as Mithril Dart just because it's free money and it's nice and passive and you can consistently get the gains on it. But everybody's buying Mithril Darts because it's 5 GP. Not everybody's buying air battle staff just because it's like 9,000 GP or whatever the fuck it is. 8,900. I think like the margin I used to do was like 89, 80 or something. I don't remember. It's been a little bit. I've been working on a lot of different stuff. It's hard for me to remember this type of shit. I just know this is good. Find the window. It's a good item. Anyway, so yeah. So all those reasons is why I'm going to put it in like a mid-range A tier. You know what I'm saying? Amethyst stuff. I want to also bring this chart up because like I want to believe in Amethyst. 4 margin for a 200 entrance is kind of whack though, because you can get that same margin here. You can get a 4 margin. Oops, sorry. Let me get rid of some of this extra shit. You can get a 4 margin on a lot cheaper items. So that's what I'm going to say here. But it's don't count it out, I guess, right? It's got a good 4-hour volume because you take that times 6, puts you in the 10 milli range, which makes it a good item to flip. It's just going to be a little bit more expensive, but then you could also add that last logic before. But it also crashed 4% in the last 12 hours, so that's kind of a decent spot to get it, because if you go to this, does it update for that? No, that'd be cool if this 12-hour would update with I'm sponsored by the guy, just everybody, full disclosure, but like if you buy the product, we can pitch ideas to him and he'll just like, he's been doing whatever anybody wants. So if we had this trend here change with this button, that might give us like a better, like, is it trending up or down for the week or whatever? I don't know if that's even possible, but anyway, sorry. We could buy this at 219 with a 2 tax and sell it for 233 pretty comfortably probably, and then that would give us a 12 GP margin, so that's not horrible. That's not horrible at all. So then let's just check out Amethyst arrows real quick. Oh, right here. A little bit cheaper. 195. Looks like we're going to have a 2 GP tax when it goes over. Let's see the volume on it. It's a little bit lighter volume, so you take that times 6, and that would be still 12 mil. So it's still okay. But, you know, the margin after tax is like a 0.5%, so I'd be like that. You want that to be a little bit higher on the items you're going for. Most of the items I trade are like a lot better than that. But arrows, I'll put a high C then. And then amethyst darts, I'll put it a low B. No, high B. Because that is decent. Glory, this is one of those 10K items I'm talking about before. Where I'm talking about like the margin is going to get eaten alive. Watch me eat my words right here. But yeah, you can already see negative 91. So we have 120 GP margin here. So like right here, you only have a 10 GP margin here. But if you buy over here, let's see. Let's check the volume too. So the volume is less than 200,000. So it's going to be slow. At one point during the day, you could purchase, like you could be a part of the pool that made 900 trades here for 12.18. And then if you sold it back over here for 12.289, you'll make like 160 margin on those items, but 160 margins on 900 units. That's not horrible, but you would not get that 900. But I'm just saying, like, it's usually most of the time, oh, it just completely crashed too. What the hell happened to this item? So maybe, no, it's not. This is just like, again, like the margins are always so close. As you can see here, 12.209, 12.202, 12.30. They're so close that you can't just flip it in a short time frame. And again, it regresses back to that buy and hold, which leaves you to speculate and then cross your fingers more just to make a little bit of profit on an item that's not very good. So I'm just putting it in the booty category. I could be wrong on that. It's just the few times I've tried trading it, it's just been nothing but booty. So we have, this represents raw fish, I believe. And raw fish can really range. Some of it's higher volume, but I haven't really seen a lot of potential profit from it. So then Ancient Essence I will put up in S tier because it does guarantee trades. You know, it guarantees profit every single day. It's not like, you know, crazy money, but this is still the same. Like these same items are going to be, just in terms of stability, I'm just putting them up here as S tier, just so like if you've never flipped, intro into these items, you'll make money, and we can, you know, keep that ball rolling. You know what I'm saying? So we have cooked fish here, kind of the same thing as raw fish. Pies are booty. This is kind of an ammo. I forgot how to pronounce this, but I was looking at it. It's got like 100 GP, large volume, and decent margins on it. So it is going to be up here right next to Amethyst Darts. Arrow shafts, I will put it, well, top of B. This one, remind me to keep this at the top of B. This is like a guaranteed flip. People are constantly buying and selling arrow shafts. You can sell them to bulkers. People collect them and stuff like that. You can make headless arrows out of them. Quick flip it off that. You know what I'm saying? For an alt, free, easy alt, whatever. I don't know. It's an easy peasy lemon squeezy flip. 1 to 2, I think it is. But it has a 7,000 buy limit. So like the most you can make is whatever that is. 7 times 6. What is it? 42,000 a day. Yeah, so actually, not as good. Okay, we'll just put it there. It's free money, but yeah. So battle staves, kind of the same logic as air battle staves. People are always buying it and they're always selling it because people are doing that as a daily. So it's the same thing as the air battle staff. It's just a little bit cheaper. So like it's a little bit worse in my opinion. Beer, the drinks and stuff like that, they're not complete ass because like beer and stuff goes up and down. It's less than 100. It's like that type of stuff. It's less than 100 is free to play. So there's a decent influx of. I want to just see what the volume is. I have to see the volume. Market scanner. Beer. It is trash. My bad. Okay, but it's less than 100. That's the thing. So if it's less than 100, there's no tax on it. So you can get like. It's a free margins, but yeah, it is less than 100,000, so you're not going to get a lot of volume there. Bones will be mid B. It's like approaching that. It's got like a 20 tax or something like that. 19 to 28 tax or something like that. I don't remember off the top of my head, but it has a really high volume because this is like a heavily botted item. You can overnight bot dump this shit, so you can catch it for like low if you're doing overnights, stuff like that. Dragon bones, leather, all that type of stuff. Heavily botted items are always going to have that. So. Black dragon hide, still chilling like a villain here. Oh my gosh, the rich stuff. Sorry, I gotta reorganize this. So the expensive items are gonna be better than this stuff. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, maybe. No, this can be over here. Okay. Maybe it's not. Okay, maybe this isn't so bad. Maybe black D hide just needs to come back here. So black D hide. You're chilling. You can buy Black D hide to get the Elks. And it's the same thing as Adamant. You're going to see a lot of repeats here. So then black items, they only really have their niche as collector items. Blessed Shield's kind of booty. Blood Roots is really high because it's a super high volume, super low tax, easy daily flip to make like 2 GP margins, 2 to 5 GP is what I've seen. Some people do buy and hold strategies that have made like a killing on this as well. So while you're daily flipping it, dollar cost averaging it or whatever, to make your margin, sometimes it's just like you go to bed, you wake up. Very rarely does it crash, but sometimes it just pumps because there's like demand surges, which causes supply shocks, which causes it to spike, just kind of like what has happened with the Fire Rune. Capes all suck. Blue D hide, same as Black D hide. Body Runes is more of a free-to-play flip, but it isn't like horrible. So it has a decent volume. It's got a decent volume, super low entry, so we'll just put it high B, sorry. Bones, this is the free-to-play version of Dragon Bones, so since we're not in free-to-play, we don't care. Bowstring, less than 100, really high volume, really good, actually really good. I like Bowstring. Bronze Arrows, kind of okay. If this was free-to-play, you're looking okay, so we'll just put it at low B. Bronze Bolt, same thing. Bronze items, kind of like, it's got the collector niche, so you can buy it, but it's kind of risky if you don't know who to go buy to or sell to. So it's sort of booty. Teleport tabs, pretty booty, low volume. They're okay margins. So we'll kind of just slide it there. Not the worst. Cannonballs, usually this is good, but I think that it's kind of like scary to be really careful with this item because it is super high volume. The margin's really cheap, and you can make a lot of money, daily money, flipping this in the short term. But I just think with sailing coming around, it's causing a lot of speculation for it. So it's kind of like crypto in that sense. Stuff that like gets involved with the news is kind of really scary to trade, in my opinion, because more speculation around it causes a lot of volatility. So like Chaos Runes is going to be an S tier. It is free to play, but it's so high volume. Plus you get like some the easiest like 2 to 6 GP margin. I've bought and hold this before and made like 40, 50 mils in one trade, like 40 or 50 mil at a time, holding it for a month or 2 months, whatever, if you see it during the all-time low, stuff like that. Chocolate bar is kind of a free-to-play flip. This is combined with free-to-play items, so a lot of these will be easy. Let's put that down in booty. Coal can go around there. Copper is actually not horrible. Well, actually, it's a free-to-play item. So the free-to-play items that I recommend to people will go down here just because members' items are better, except for certain situations like Cosmic Rune, same thing here. Chaos Runes. The runes are all kind of the same thing. You're going to see that a lot. Diamond Bolts E. I really like the Adamant Bolt Chain. I don't know. I've been making millions with them. Recently, let's see if I can pull up my account wide here, just on my rune lights, just so I can show you guys how much money I've made with them. Diamonds and stuff, I was told these are good, but I haven't had a lot of luck with like crafting supplies. Dragon is like the rich person's elk market, so I want to put this here. Do I? Sometimes you can make a killer margin on them, but sometimes they're just like they're slow and stable. They're slow and stable, so simple profits. Yama just released. Actually, let's put this up here because Yama has some alkables on its drop table, and a lot of those are flooding into the game. And they're like a week ago, when Yama released, people in my Discord were getting alkable items 2,000 GP lower than the elk price. So it was like crazy. It was pretty crazy. But that's kind of a wild card as well. But they're stable. They are also stable too, because dragon items do tie to elk price. Dust runes I want to put up here into the A tier. For sure, probably the highest A tier. Sell for 8.5 for 9, I believe it is. Been doing that basic trade over and over again. Let me pull this, get my flipping utilities here so we can see. Past week. Oh, fuck. This is going to be tough to sift through. I should probably cut this, but we made 1 mil of smoke runes. Diamond bolty, I made 3 mil the last week. I've sold 117,000 of them. 26 GP per unit, you know what I'm saying here? So, like, that's what I was... So, look at that. When I was talking about those other items, like the rune items and stuff like that, where you could, like, make these trades to get, like, 12, 15 GP margins or 30 GP margins, I'm doing that with an item that's less than 100 GP. So, like, that's why I'm trying to say, like, it's easier. Like, these items are better. You know what I mean? I bought them for 77 and I got lucky and they pumped up to 103. But I was just buying huge swaths of them at, like, a low price on the charts. And then I was like, oh, wow, it pumped. And then I just pitched everything and made a fucking killing on them. So, yeah. Same kind of here. I've experimented with this a couple times. It's profited. The emerald bolts on the myth, whatever, same thing. Earth runes. I'm going to slap that right next to air runes. Fire runes. So, okay. Fire runes, I want to put an S tier. Let's just talk about it. It is volatile right now. But let's just look at its volume. Let's look at the fire rune. 2 billion in the last 7 days. What is that per day? This can't be right. 100 mil right here is not correct. There's no way that's correct. Because if that was correct, it would not be sitting at 7.6 right now. So the 7 day is an average of 300 million a day for 7 days. And Yama hasn't been out that long. But if we look at fire runes right now, there's some crazy shit's happened with this. So last week, it spiked all the way up to, it hit 9. And previous to that, it got all the way up to, I think, it used to show it, but it got up, like, when I was checking out the old school wiki, when it was happening, there was a sale in there for, like, 24, like, to buy a fire rune for 24 GP. I don't remember what the volume was, but there was, like, such, like, you need so many fire runes for Yama right now. And, it's looking like 300 to 600 million a day. It's kind of scary because the margin's moving, but, like, sorry, wrong web browser here. But, like, we're looking at crazy volume. 6-7 margin right now. You can go to, well, whatever. That's for free to play. Sorry, I was going to say you can go buy fire rune packs, and you can make, like, 500k to 1 mil just doing that right now in the free to play. So that's pretty fucking nuts that you could have a free to play alt right now making 500 to 1 mil an hour just fucking buying runes from the rune store. But, like, so this is kind of freaky to trade right now because some you might... This 7.6 will eventually go back to 6.5, and it will probably go back to 5.4 because that's what runes do. But right now, you're just looking at so much volume. Like, there's a 4 mil dump, 2 mil dump, 2.5 mil dump. It's just, so what will happen when you're trading a fire rune is that you will buy it, you know, you'll go to bed, or you won't check for a week or whatever, or you know, you're going to do daily, maybe, let's say that. So you get 50k times 6, which is 300k a day, right? I think that's correct. Yeah, 300k a day, and then you're gonna make like 300k a day on that because the volume's so high. It's close to 300k, maybe. I don't know. I haven't done it yet. I'm not touching it until like try to stabilizes around 6.5. But what will happen when you lose the trade here is that it will go to 6.5. So then whatever you bought at, you'll just sell back at what the new high is, and then you'll reinvest 1 GP lower. So the only thing you really lose is time. You won't lose a lot of money because the item crashing, these elemental runes are so stable that even when they crash, you don't lose money. You just lose time. So it's super safe. Potions, booty. I have knew it for free to play this a little bit better, but that's kind of down here. Feathers, I'm going to put like B because like they sort of buy, but whatever, you know what I mean? Tools and stuff, kind of butt. Gold ore, sort of butt. Grapes, sort of, well, not bad. It's like a high volume. It's a really high volume, less than 100 GP, so it'll belong up here. Flax, I'll put into A tier. Really, I'm addicted to passive money, guys. I don't know. I know you guys might just want like a fuck ton of money, but passive money is good money, bro. It just keeps coming, and you just keep making money, and then it's just like a year goes by, you're still playing RuneScape, and all of a sudden you've doubled your net worth twice. You know what I mean? Gilded items. This is just going to represent just like this stuff here. This is just going to be all items over 1 mil. It's, you know what I'm saying? Just going to be there. Green D'hide chaps, pretty okay for free to play, kind of booty for members. Green D'hide bodies, same alchemical argument as before. Just put that in there again. Kind of booty for that. I think herbs kind of suck. They have a low margin, or yeah, small margin, low volume. Let's just kind of peek those real quick. Grimy. 20 GP, volume's less than 1 mil. But you know what I'm saying? Like them diamond bolts. It's less than 100. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? Tax is 64. Oh my god, he implemented the tax column, dude. You can see the tax. I wasn't used to having this. This is a new feature, man. Yo, 07GG's was putting them features out. He's busting his ass. Anyway, so we have a 64 GP on this item. 64 GP tax here. So let's see. So that's gone. So you could get it. This is 12 hours. You'd have to wait like multiple hours just to get a chance to make a flip. So you'd get a 343, 64 would be up there. So you get like a 40 GP margin, which ain't bad. You know what I'm saying? Like if you could buy here, you know, you put in for a 1 day trade and we chart this thing 6280, and then we're going to go for, so 6280 plus 64, so 6344. That doesn't happen a lot. Well, actually, no, that's a peak. You want through lines that kind of like intersect on this chart a lot. So you could do it. I just don't know how many times. Let's see. You want that slot to be, so 6,500. Take away 64. So 6436 is what you'd want to, or 6,500. Does that ever happen? It barely ever happens. So then let's take that, take away this to 6344. So 6436, just about 100 GP. So then 70,000 for the slot would be, what I think is a pretty good slot would be 70,000 a day. So you need to get 700 units a day. So then 700 times 6386. It's not 4 mil. Okay. Not horrible. Not horrible. So you know what? Grimy herbs. You've moved your way up into A tier. Leather's kind of booty unless we're talking about dragon leather, which is awesome. I love dragon leather. I'm just going to go find them all right now. I'm trying to speed run through this because this is 120 some items. So also, yeah. So this is butt, pure essence for the... you know, if you have 700 accounts, this is the best item of the game, but if you don't, then this is kind of not even worth your time, really, because it takes forever to sell on one slot. Headless arrows, cheap, guaranteed slot for money, but, you know, there's better items. This is butt. Iron arrows, kind of butt, because it's a free-to-play good pick, but it's not a very good pick for members. Iron bars, that type of stuff, same thing as the adamant. We have darts. Those are pretty good, because these are a lot more high volume. Like, this is, like, less than... I forget what iron darts are, but they're less than 100, and they have like millions of volumes, so it's pretty good. Iron items are butt. Jugs, free to play good. Can be okay in members, but it's not going to be a crazy amount of money. Law runes, pretty decent daily flip. Lava runes. These actually did really well for me. Do I still have that RuneScape up? No, I closed like a silly billy. The smoke runes, though. You guys saw the smoke runes. These guys are all been super clutch for me. Dust runes, smoke runes, lava runes. Jugs of wine. I picked up 500k of them, and they have been selling pretty good with a 2 GP margin, so I want to put those there. Leather's kind of butt. These are one situation where they're not butt, and that's selling to collectors. I got my thingy up here, so let's go for a week. I don't know if I've sold lava in the last week or not. $700k on runite bolts. Thread we made a little bit. Mines we made 54 million because I'm the best. Fire runes, pure essence. No, so we have not. I think I stopped it, but over the month. Over the month. 2 mil on smoke. Swamp tar we made 1 mil. Ancient essence we made 1 mil. And that's on one account, mind you. 2.3 mil for the month on runite bolts. Animate darts we made 1 mil. Mithril darts we made 500k. Flax we just bought. I haven't sold any. I got 500k on stack there. We made 1 mil, 200k there. That was one test flip. Headless arrow was just test flipping. Dust runes. Lava runes 500k. You know what I'm saying here? Like, there's a lot of money. Like, I rotated these items too, so like, even steel kite shields. That's funny. 500k for steel kite shields. But yeah, steel items are weird anyway. So steel items, they're kind of weird, but they're not very good for members. Mahogany plates are decent because construction's always in demand. So maple logs here and redwood logs. Are those in here as well? Are these U? U is kind of low B because it's tight margins, but you know, there's a large volume there. Maple, I'm going to put in low A because it is consistent, but this is like an investment because of the new updates that are coming out. And I know I said to stay away from that. So this is kind of speculative. This is kind of invest at your own risk, but I was told from some guy in chat, and he's very confident that maples and redwoods would be a very good investment to trade on. So maybe picking some of these up or flipping them. Just flip them, and then hopefully during the update, you'll see a huge surge from when you purchased like a bunch of them. Mithril arrows. They're kind of volatile, but they are really high volume with a low amount of GP. Mithril bars, same thing as adamant. Mithril bolts, I like those a lot. Mithril dart tips, I like those a lot. Mithril plate bodies are really good for alkables, but the rest of the mithril items are not that good. Monk robe is supposed to represent PK items, and I don't think those do very good. Numalite is really high. I've been able to get like 5 to 6 GP margins on this, and they're like 50 GP a few times. So the nature runes come up here too. This is going to look a lot like 10 mil. Now that I'm thinking about it, is because like you're using the same strategy all the way up. It's just like you have better options now, because like with 100 mil, you can purchase a lot more air battle staffs. So in my 10 mil video, I wouldn't have recommended you bought this because you couldn't afford it. You could buy a lot more diamond bolts and really make a lot more money. Adamant bolt, same thing. Oak logs, not the best. Potions, not the best. I would say cosmetics are kind of booty. Raw fish, free to play, is kind of booty, so low C tier. We're going to put red d'hide as alkables again. Revenant ether is pretty high A tier. Runite arrows, I've made quite a considerable amount of money here with those as well. The same thing as they're like 60 GP. You can get like a 3 GP margin on 3 to 5 GP margin, and there's millions of volume a day. So those are pretty good. Rune bolts, little swing or miss, but it's roughly the same logic as amethyst. Rune tips, they're a little bit more expensive, but there is a little bit higher margin on these sometimes because people are I've seen a lot higher margins on these. Rune essence, probably wouldn't trade that as a member. Runite items, I would put higher on the list here around, well, not as good as air battle staffs because I haven't been able to get like a perfect close cycle on them, but like the best of the alkables, I don't know, like you can consistently make these and then sell them. Like if you have 100 mil, get yourself a few alts, get them to survive the false band waves after, you know, if you get a free-to-play account to the flipping stage where they survive the 20 hours and they flip, virtually 0 bans occur at that point. So if you get to that point, you pass some, I don't know if 100 mil is enough actually. Let me see here. So with like 30k, let's do this math quick. 30k per day, so it's 3,000 divided by 125 times 3. So 26 days divided by 3. So for 9, yeah, that's not bad. So you could get buy limits on all these rune items for 9 days with 100 mil, and then take that over to all bulks and then sell them off for a nice solid margin. Runite bolts, really like them. Really like runite bolts. Fire battle staffs, not as good as air. Lower volume, higher margin. But sometimes it takes longer to move, so I don't know which one's better. But I'm guessing air battle staff. Steel plate bodies. Steel items, for whatever reason. Like I said, I showed you that made 500k last month just flipping kite shields. So I'm going to put them in B. They just have crazy margins, and I don't know why. Okay, I don't know why. But also, let's look at... market scanner, please. Sunfire. I got wrecked on these items because I didn't see that they were crashing like crazy. Let's just see if they're still crashing. So we have all here, and they are at an all-time low. That is usually... They're near the all-time low, so that is usually an indicator that it's a decent time to invest in an item. So that's investing. So it's buy and selling, or buy and holding, but you could probably flip them okay. So I'm going to put them low B now. They have a really high volume. Swamp Tar, I really like Swamp Tar. Buy for 3, sell for 4. Thread's been doing okay, but it's free to play, but it is okay, so I'll slide it up in B tier. Copper's okay. Sorry, tin. Onyx, this is like your... This is what I've made the most money, or not made the most, but I made a lot of money with Onyx, and I've lost hundreds of mil on Onyx when they took a huge dive, so I have got a bone to pick with them, but they are like really nice to purchase around. Let's see if they're nice to purchase. I haven't done it for a long time. Onyx. 19k. They're really tight to each other. With that, like, dude, when taxes came out, bro, like, that fucked a lot of flipping for people, dude. So I understand where you guys are at, because it was easy as hell. Because, like, back in the day, I made so much money because, oh, there's 16k right there. Oh, you can't see that. Oh, there's 16k right here. Oh, there's 2,000 right there. You know what I mean? Like, it was brainless. But now you have to, like, factor in taxes and try to, like, predict further down the line and shit. I'm like, oh, wow, there's 30k right there. Oh, I'll just flip that, and I'll flip it again, and I'll flip it again, and flip it again. Oh, my God, I made 2 mil off that item today, because you just rinse, repeat 30k or whatever, but now fucking Jax is making all that money. Huh. Taxes, the government, and all they do is false ban people, bro. I'm just kidding. Big troll. Anyway, Volcanic Ash. Less than 100, really high volume, belongs up at the top here again. Water Rune, same thing as the other Ellies. Or that. Over here, awesome if you got a lot of accounts, but not so great if you're doing it on one account. Willow Logs, kind of butt. Wrath Runes up here as well. Cosmetics, kind of booty. U Longbows. Actually, let's peek at that one as well. That was one I wanted to peek at as well. U Long. 5 GP margin, 6 GP tax. Yeah, so you can get like 10 GP there. You can flip this for like 10 GP per day. That's pretty good. So I'm going to slide that all up in A tier. Zora, high A tier. And there you have it. So let's just quick look at everything. We got Mithril Darts. It's kind of weird for the S tier here. If other things had to go up to the S tier. Most of the A tier, I haven't lost to this. There's Maple Longbow Unstrung. I haven't put it up there. I'd put it up here too because I've been able to trade that passively for 85 to 90 and sell it for 100 to 120. But a lot of these A tiers could go into the S tier. I just always recommend Mithril Darts and Ancient Essence to get people started, because I know that those slots will make money. So then when you have a I'm not really flipping. Okay, my bad. I haven't been really flipping, so I can't really show you an example here with what my accounts do. But all of these aren't S tier, because like an S tier item, I would rank an S tier item as like safe enough for you to easily make money. So Dust Rune I'd probably slide up there because it's been every single time I've traded it, I've made money on it. Headless Arrow as well. It's just people aren't going to like it as much because like you're not going to get huge swings like you will at Diamond Bolts E. Because sometimes, you know, a lot of people, you'll see that trade I made with Diamond Bolts E and you'll go, wow, that's an S tier trade. But like you can't, that doesn't happen all the time. Like I'll always make money with the item, but not always 27. Sometimes it'll be 5, sometimes it'll be 10. But it's always been making money. Sometimes I'll lose 2, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it ties up my money for a little bit. So that's why I don't want to put that stuff in S tier. I like putting stuff in S tier that I know is going to always make you money. And that's why I used to put like elemental runes up there and stuff like Body Rune. and all that other type of stuff. But these are kind of like items that will probably always make you money. It's just you still have to pay attention to them because they're not free, brainless money. There's items in the game like Mithril Dart, Ancient Essence, Chaos Runes, sort of Chaos Runes. They might crash on you. You might lose a couple trades, but who cares? It's only going to be a couple of gold. And then Fire Runes, sort of scary right now, but Dust Runes, Headless Arrows, these are guaranteed to make you money. So there's 6 items here. This is guaranteed to make you money, and this will be pretty much guaranteed to make you money. So this one could be like your loadout, like if you're a brand, well, maybe, yeah, even Fire Runes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are 8 items for you to try to load out your account. If you've never flipped before, you could probably win 95% of the trades if you do these, and then you can rinse repeat that daily or weekly or whatever, and grow your bank. So that's kind of like, I'm going to be biased for that always, because I'm always trying to talk to like brand new players. And then stuff with like some risk but will get you a lot of money is this type of stuff down here. And then like as we progress down the list, in my experience, it just progresses the risk to like, it progresses the risk, or the profit isn't enough to justify the risk that the item has. So there we go. Hopefully, you know, it was a long one for you guys. Hopefully you guys like that, and catch you later. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Check out the links down below.